Hey everyone, so I'm up and I'm headed over to Cahokia Mounds. I am so excited to visit this site, this historic Native American civilization and city that has very little known about it, but what is known is pretty amazing, and we're gonna get some great video today, so stay tuned. So yesterday, as I was coming off the highway to go to the hotel, was going right, and so I could see all the stuff on the right. Like I could see the hotels and the food and the store options on the right. Well, I looked left and I saw a lot of stuff that I thought would be of interest to me, and this was before I ended up finding that Cracker Barrel to eat at, so I wasn't sure where I was going to eat. And so I looked left and I saw a lot of stuff that might have been of interest, but I was trying to get Bengal to the hotel, so I just went right and, thought I'd just map it or something. I had to find an ATM. I ended up searching for a Chase ATM. It took me to this gas station. I went in. I happened to hear the two guys at the counter checking out the end of their conversation. And the end of their conversation was about how one of their kids' favorite Power Ranger was the Green Ranger, which my car is green. And you may not think much of that. And on the way out, the guy goes, "Wow, he must have felt like Charlie getting the golden ticket." And they laughed. Now, they didn't know I had a green Jeep. They didn't know my name was Charlie. And the conversation looked like it was going on for a while, because the guy that had checked out already was the guy leaving. He was not the one at the counter. It was the other guy. So they had been talking about this Power Ranger thing for a really long time. To hear them say, they must have felt like Charlie getting the golden ticket, it just was funny. So the point is, this brings me back to that other side of the road, the other direction. It was kind of at a gas station in like a little bit of a residential area, and there were no highways on the route. So I ended up just following it. I was like, yeah, I'll explore, and I took a ride through some of the residential area, and lo and behold, it took me through back streets that ended up being getting on the tail end of that other direction, and I was able to drive up and see all the stuff on that side coming to the hotel from the reverse. It was a full circle, basically. And so that might not seem like much, because I already got food, and it was already a moot point almost, although maybe today will come in handy. But it just shows you that my gut was telling me something about that way. So whether it was intuition to know that I would see that direction, or if it was guided that way for me to see that section, or if it was just recognizing the path and knowing that, that was something I wanted to manifest, was just to see that side. I mean, manifestations don't have to be, fancy houses and money and fame and wealth all the time. And everything's a manifestation. Just looking down that way and wanting to see what was there, and then going the other way, I manifested a route that took me that way, or my guides did, or however you want to say it. The point is that when you become aligned with your soul's journey, with your mission, with your purpose, with your heart chakra, with your just your unconditional love for what you're doing, what you're feeling, your self-worth, your self-love, all that stuff. When you get aligned in that way, those things start to happen all the time. And of course, it's starting to manifest as directions and roads and, things I'm seeing from the car because I'm on a road trip. And so now I'm manifesting things like that. Manifesting the green Power Ranger and the Charlie thing to tell me I'm on the right path. Or that's not even a manifestation. That's more of a guidance moment, I believe. But listening to your intuition, to me, goes hand in hand with self-love and spiritual awakening. Once you start to center your soul in the reality and in the experience that it wants to have in this lifetime, your intuition has no choice but to come out of the shadows and explode all around you. And for those who doubt signs, for those who doubt being able to see yourself on the right path, or people that say everything's a coincidence, I would just say that try to see them as not that. Because the more that you claim that they're just happenstance, that they're a coincidence, the less they have a chance to come through. I know for me, those are magical. Those are spiritual magic moments. And I wouldn't trade those in for anything. I said in a video, a couple videos back, that I sometimes want to trade this spiritual awakening in, or I want it to stop. That's the one thing I never want to stop. The signs, synchronicities, knowing that I'm manifesting things around me as they happen, that's something I would never trade in. Never trade in. It is literally living a magic show every day. It's not about being special. It's about everyone being able to do it. You can all do it. Everybody can do it. It doesn't even take effort. The only thing that takes effort is ignoring it. The effort is actually our conditioning to nullify them. Because if we're open to them and we have an epiphany moment, we have a eureka moment, they come like windfall. They come like a deluge. They are just constant. And so it's actually taking you more effort to not have them. As weird as that sounds and as backwards as that sounds, because you're just going about your everyday life and it's just normal, it's actually harder to ignore them. It's actually, once you start letting them in, the top blows off and the tower comes down, and it's beautiful. The tower isn't always a bad card. The tower just means change. The signs and synchronicities will pour from your reality. I promise you. Just start believing that what you see is what they are, and not just write them off as coincidence, and not just write them off as frivolous or, oh, okay, whatever, eye roll. Don't do that. You're just cutting yourself off from them again, and it's harder to do that. Your soul doesn't want to do that. So that's my little musing for today, because it's just constantly, every day on this road trip so far. I've been on it for 6 days. Every day feels like a magical moment happens, at least one, whether it be numbers, signs, moments like those, street things. I mean, I wouldn't trade that in for the world. It's amazing. It's so amazing, and anyone can do it. So I would advise trying it at least, then see what you think. So this place is way bigger than I thought. There's multiple options for trails. There's a casual walking trail. There's a 5-mile trail, and there's a 10-mile trail that comes back here into the woods. So I decided I might not have enough time to do the 10 by walking, so get my morning run in. But so far this place feels, I mean, the chills haven't stopped since I've been on the grounds. So there's a lot of history, palpable spiritual history here. And it's amazing, it's gorgeous. Truly grateful that there are places like this and people that will preserve them when there are so many people that are destroying these things and don't care about the history of this place. I mean, there's not a mound in sight here, but this is the land they lived on. You know, this is the land that they cherished and cultivated and really honored in their time here. And the least we can do is to honor them, even when we don't honor ourselves in this environment. So I'm at this mile marker post here, or whatever trail post, red all the way around, so we're heading on the right path. As you can see, the red is the long one, and we just came to that corner. So right now we're looking at the back side of Monk's Mound, circling around the back on the red trail, and we're headed towards the front of it, so I'll catch you when we get in the front. So it looks as though this turn here allows us to go up the mound. So let's see. So this is the top. As you can see for really far, and in fact, there's a butterfly. Way down there, you can see St. Louis, which I didn't even know. So that's where my next stop will be. So I just finished the red trail, roughly like 9 miles. I got this great souvenir, which I was told in the visitor center at the front that it's definitely a hawk. They just don't know which kind, so feels good. I don't know why. It just feels, I feel honored to have it, I guess, in these circumstances. So onward and upward to the next stop.